Hello everybody, welcome to the next round of Cutthroat Commander with Animar Soul of Elements. This might be a tough round. This is an obvious mulligan. We are against a mono blue commander, which might be tough to deal with. It's going to be too long before I can cast that Maelstrom Wonder, so we'll bottom that. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep that. The recruiter will get me some action, so now I just want to kind of build up my mana. I'm curious. I guess a mono blue Talrand deck like that, they play so many cantrips that he might just think he can cantrip his way out of a no land hand. I'm really not sure why he didn't play a land first turn. But I'm going to play the birds this turn. What that allows me to do is set up a turn next turn. I talked about this during the deck tech. Increasingly, what I find myself doing is using Strip Mine to set up situations. Like in this case, let's say he just passes 2 islands open. Exactly. I can just simply Strip Mine 1 island. And he probably taps it for mana. And I just move to the next phase. And hope he doesn't have something like Force Spike. And we get him down. And yeah, when I talked about Wasteland, that's precisely the sort of play you can't do. There's so many monocolored decks running around that Wasteland's not very good against. Here, I'm just going to pass. Yeah, so the Talrand decks, if you've never faced them, basically play Talrand, cantrips, and counters, and card draw. They don't play too many permanents. They play cantrips that you've long forgotten about. Things like 1 blue, target creature gets -1, -0, draw a card. I'm trying to decide. There's only 1 blue flash creature, and he'd be wasting it by casting it here. At least one, Snapcaster Mage is the only commonly played one I see. Alright, Wood Elves is a good draw. It's something that obviously ramps my mana more and more towards this Ulamog. I'm not just out of gas if he counters it. like I am with Imperial Recruiter, and just keeps the pressure on. So against these decks, yeah, you just kind of have to pick your spots, like when you can get things done and when you have to be patient. Sweepers aren't as big of a deal against these types of decks. Most Talrand decks do not run things like Oblivion Stone or Evacuation. Talrand. Okay. So, now is my chance to go nuts. Let's start with this. And he probably does not have Force of Will. Here, if you're looking for business and you have plenty of mana like this, there's a few options you have. One, you can go for Prophet of Kruphix for the maximum kind of power, but given that I have an 11 cost creature in my hand, that's probably not what I want. I don't really... Magus of the Future is an option, or Magus, but I think I'm just going to go with Prime Speaker Zagana. It does have the biggest possibility of running into days, but I'm just going to take that risk. And here, I'm just simply going to suspend Ancestral Visions. Alright, never count out blue decks, but he is probably going to have a difficult time dealing with this. Like a mass bounce spell is not going to help him too much. He's got multiple kind of reasonable sized creatures, that Animar and that Prime Speaker. They're going to start taking hefty chunks out of his life total. This Isochron Scepter on High Tide, that's interesting. I do not trust that at all, so let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait for him to accept the fact that I'm getting a Drake here. So playing out the Ulamog is not terribly important this turn. I might want to save his ability for a permanent that I don't have an easy answer for, like Ancient Grudge. And it's perfectly fine just playing out Consecrated Sphinx instead. And I'm starting to get to the point mana-wise too that even if he does somehow take care of my entire board, or the Animar at least, I might be pretty close to just simply casting Ulamog. This will be my 8th land, 9th land in my hand, along with a mana elf. Yeah, this game's looking pretty good. It's quickly spiraling out of control. And pretty soon he's going to have to chump with that Gilded Drake. One thing I do kind of fear out of that deck is some clone effects on that Gilded Drake. And he lets it go. I'm also curious what massive spell he has in his hand that he wanted High Tide for instead of that negate. My best guess is maybe a kicked Rite of Replication. Stolen Identity. Okay. Alright, so grand total, he's going to get 2 cards off of that. Because I'm definitely not responding. That just gets too out of hand too quick. Although, you know what? Actually, I am. Actually, no, I'm not. Just because this game gets super bogged down if you do that. I could probably just win on the spot. But no need to risk it. Here, I'm going to fetch out a basic. I have no desire to lose to something nonsensical like Back to Basics. Go ahead and cast this. And that's good for the game.